Okay, so I had to come on right now. I'm waiting for my daughter. She's in her therapy session, and so I got an hour. And I was just talking to my daughter about the fact that I am laughing so hard. I'm laughing so hard about this whole tariff situation in China. I love, if you have not heard about it, oh my, you've got you've got to. It's so funny. It's absolutely hilarious. Okay. So, China's response to the tariffs is so funny because like they're like, "Oh, what? We don't have good shit here?" Okay. Bet. Bet. We're going to point out all the tea. We're going to spill the tea like this is the Boston Tea Party all over again, except for it's China now, like stepping in. I love them. I love them. So China's like, okay, we don't have good stuff here. Like, where do you think these people are getting it from? Like, we're the ones making it, and then they're the ones taking it and slapping a label on it, and then they're just racking up the price by like 200%. So, anything that is considered to be designer, and I'm talking about like anything. I'm talking about makeup. I'm talking about clothing. I'm talking about shoes. I'm talking about um, all of this stuff that purses, you name it. Every single thing is considered to be designer that has like this high price to it that everybody thinks is luxury. It ain't worth shit. Which this goes into like the point that like I wanted to bring up anyways, the main point that I'm talking about in this video, but this was like what stirred this up was the fact that it ain't worth shit. All of that stuff, they were exporting it from China. They were taking it to Italy and France and all of those other places. And then they were slapping on this big ass label that made it sound like it was from there. And then they were, jacking up the price. So, really and truly, that stuff is not worth the price that you're paying for it. So, all of these people out there trying to look rich, trying to look like they have all this money, they are just throwing their money away. They are throwing their money away on pointless stuff. Now, and look, y'all, I will be honest and say that do I have some of this designer stuff? Yes. Yes. I have some Coach bags. I have some Dooney and Burke bags. I have some Ugg boots. All at the point of the fact that, one, my Ugg boots I never paid full price for. I bought my stuff off of eBay. I'm a thrifter. I'm thrifter through and through. I like things on sale. I like things on clearance. I like to save my money, if it's going to be on something, and if I don't like it, I'm not going to buy it. I have some Coach bags because I think they're pretty. I like the design of them. I bought them on clearance. I bought them whenever back in the military, they sell a lot of this stuff on base. And because you're military, you get a military discount. And so there's the BX is what they call it on base. And so they have all of this stuff there that you can get for a very discounted price. Well, I would wait for even that discount to even go to a clearance discount. And if it didn't, well, then I wasn't going to buy it. I wasn't going to spend that kind of money on it. I didn't have that kind of money to spend anyways, back whenever we were in the military. This was back when I was still married. And so with that, sorry, I got to add, I didn't have that kind of money to spend because my ex-husband was out drinking it away. Just mental note on that one. I was told I had to say it, okay? Like, thank you, Spirit. I appreciate you. But, so, with all of that, I have had these things. And yes, do not get me wrong. I was brainwashed in many ways by even my own family, because my family was very like big on trying to look a certain way, for many different reasons. They wanted to look rich, they wanted to look normal because of all the dirty, rotten, disgusting secrets that they were hiding. So, of course, you gotta like pretend to be one way so that they don't see the other way, that kind of stuff. So don't get me wrong, that stuff was like fed into me, but I always I love thrift stores. I absolutely love going thrift shopping. It's one of my favorite things to do because it's like going treasure hunting. That's how I view it. And it gives like a new home to those items that were no longer needed by that family. And I donate a lot of my stuff to the thrift stores. Sometimes I do sell some things, don't get me wrong. I have had to survive off of eBay before. But I just think it's absolutely hilarious that China's now doing this, and people are now starting to wake up that it's like the shit ain't worth anything, which leads me into the point that I was going to make. None of this stuff goes with us. Like, okay, so I have a past life in Egypt, and I remember as a small child, I read everything I could get my hands on. That was my way of getting out of the reality that I was in. So reading to me was a way to break free from the home life that I had. And so I would read everything I could get my hands on. So with that, I loved reading about Egypt. And first and foremost, there's a lot of information that is misinformation that was really annoying to read, because it was like, where the hell are they getting this shit? That's one of the reasons why I never really liked history in school. I did not like history because half that shit was fake. So it was just annoying to make me memorize things that I knew were false. So yeah, just saying, not everything, just there's a lot. Remember, the victor gets to rewrite history. So just saying, anybody that wins the war gets to write out how it was won. So there's a lot of things that are taken out and, misrepresented and stuff like that. I'm not running around saying everything is false, but back to Egypt. I always thought, I remember this thought, and it stuck with me forever, because in my mind I was like, we had it all fucking wrong in Egypt. We had it wrong, thinking that we could be buried with our items. Like, how stupid were we to think that every single thing that we owned, if we buried it with us, it was going to go on to the next life with us? Like, that stuff, that the things here are going to be with us in the afterlife or go on to the next life. No. See, that's where we got it wrong. Either here on this earth, when you die, your stuff is either fought over by other people, thrown away, burned, thrown away, whatever it may be. I learned that one today. Some people, like, if you were poor back then and you died, they would just burn your stuff, and so that too. Or it gets, donated to some kind of cause or some thrift or some place. Like, it's never actually goes anywhere. It's just shuffled around. So why do we hold on to these possessions so tightly? Why do we insist that we need these things? I know the answer to that. I do. Because really it just boils down to trauma and, holding on to things for dear life because of so many different, I mean, every person's different on why. For me, it was a multitude of different things depending on what the item was. But it's one of those things that, why are we still holding on to these things? These items that we want to sit there and say, oh, well, I'm better than you because I have this item, or I have this item. Dude, woman, sir, ma'am, your item is the exact same as my item. Like, how does that make you better than me? The feeling of superiority that people are having because of what they own, and now coming to the realization that it means nothing, that's going to be a whammy. But that's something they got to work through, because seriously, like I said, none of this goes with us. So let go of this feeling that you need to have all of this stuff. Like, why do you need to have these items to prove that you are worthy or that you are a certain way? You don't need anything to prove anything. You are worthy just for who you are. And quit holding on to these things like they are your lifeline. They aren't. These items can be snatched away in an instant. These items, there are so many things that I thought were mine that are now gone. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm still here. I don't need them. I'll figure out a way. None of these things, none of these items define who I am and my worth. And they shouldn't for you. So I just wanted to share this message and tell you guys that I love you. And, you know, this year is going to be intense because people are starting to come out with all the truth. There's more truth that is being revealed because everybody is doing so much work on themselves and coming out with all of this truth. Like, it's beautiful. I love it. I'm all here for it. Let's keep it going. Let's keep that truth coming out. Let's go. Let's start getting people to the right places that they need to be. Okay? I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day.